Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at more gut feeling stories. Yeah, let's just get right into the video. I was 12 at the time and my favorite thing in the world was spending the night at my grandma's house. We lived in the sticks at the time and my grandma lived closer to the nearest town. Thursday night was grandma's night. I felt something off one Thursday night and asked my mum if I could just stay home with my mum and dad. They reluctantly agreed. I went home and watched some TV and went to bed. My bedroom was on the adjoining wall to the living room. I wasn't really asleep, but I heard my mum saying my dad's name over and over again with a hint of panic. I sneak out to the living room and my dad is on the couch with his head tilted back, snoring really loud, which wasn't uncommon, but my mum was beside him shaking him and telling him to wake up. She yelled at me to go back to bed. I didn't, obviously. I snuck to the bedroom to call 911. I told the dispatcher that my dad was asleep and my mum was trying to wake him up, but she couldn't. Eventually, the phone call went to the living room and my mum talked to the dispatcher. They sent an ambulance to the middle of nowhere. My dad had taken a bottle to try to commit suicide. I remember sitting on the floor and holding his hand and repeating over and over that I loved him. The ambulance came and took him to the hospital. Lights and the sirens the whole way. We didn't know what happened during that time, but we found out a day or so later, and that is when our world changed. I am very sure if I did not call 911 that night, my dad would have succeeded, and it would probably have drove my mum over the edge as well. And I have no idea why I didn't want to stay the night at my nanny's. I just had that feeling that I needed to go home. That's so sad. I mean, I'm glad the dad's better, hopefully. I mean, if they're telling this story, right, I hope the dad is better. It's always the saddest when someone feels like that's the best way out. That must mean, they were just in so much pain that they couldn't think about anything else or staying for anything else. I stopped by a friend's house to watch a ball game. He, his wife and I were relaxing and someone knocked on the door. It was the middle of the afternoon. He opened it up. He was expecting others might come by also. I hear him greeting someone. The guy was his brother I had never met, but heard about. Very sketchy looking guy, meth teeth, scrawny, long greasy hair. My friend had told me that he had a brother who lived in the area who had a serious drug problem. Buddy is talking to his brother about nothing and the guy gets a call on his cell. Whoever called, all he told them was, "Not yet, I'll call you later." Seems pretty obvious this guy has come to rob and most likely to take out witnesses. I look at my buddy and it seems he has also came to the same conclusion. Now my buddy's wife is a no-nonsense type of woman, sweet but athletic on the tall side. She had left the room to go to the bathroom, or so she said. She comes back in the room with a handgun. I'm thinking, what did I walk into? But she calmly says, "Ron, you're strung out and came here with bad intentions. You need to quietly leave if you get any ideas. Chris, their son, is sitting outside in his truck to make sure you go." Ron doesn't say a word. He just turns and goes out the door. We can hear his old pickup drive away rapidly. Chris comes in and says he's gone. I don't think he's coming back. They ask me to leave so they can decide what to do. They have already called the police, who are well acquainted with Ron. The next morning my buddy calls me. The police said they found his brother in the trailer park where he lived, murdered with multiple gunshots. They are guessing he was in a serious drug debt and had come to rob his brother. I told my buddy I was sorry. He said don't be. The fact that Ron had no way out and this was his last resort to rob his own brother, else he's gonna die. Dude, what the hell are these stories? But seriously, that woman is a badass. She literally just brought the gun out and talked to him calmly and was like, "You need to leave." Holy, that's scary. Imagine you're just chilling in your friend's house and you realize the whole place is gonna be shut up. I was in Taco Bell with my daughter and I saw a guy come in and back with a t-shirt over his hand. I told her to dump her tray and get moving. We went out to the car quickly and left. Found out later on the news that the guy robbed the place with the gun hiding under his t-shirt. Seriously, this is why you should always be aware of your surroundings. Holy. I'm a teenage girl who worked at a restaurant pizza shop. I was harassed by these two men one weekend who were totally wasted, so they were kicked. The following weekend they returned, and they tried to sit next to me, at counter which is connected to the bar, but they couldn't, so they chose a table across from me and moved both their seats to look right at me, then would only order from my counter instead of our waitresses. Were staring at me, making jokes about killing a girl and kind of just freaking me out. I ended up going to our upstairs employees only section to fold boxes. Up there, all alone down in a hallway where nobody would hear me. I ended up feeling sick to my stomach as I heard someone walk up the stairs and whispering, and I closed the door and turned my music off and texted my mum. The two followed me up there, then tried to go down and then unlocked the hallway, but another waitress noticed them bothering me and caught them trying to come after me. I just had a gut feeling as I heard them coming and she came down the hallway and told me to be quiet and hold our body weight against the door. We waited for them to leave as they stood there, waiting for me to come out before making some remarks about not knowing where I was and then going back down. My dad came and picked me up early because I just felt so off. The following day I had come in for another shift, and as I was clocking out, the TV started playing a true crime documentary on a girl with the same name as me who was kidnapped and assaulted by 2 men. My stomach dropped and shortly gave my notice after that. I realized I wasn't going to be protected there and wouldn't be surprised if they returned again. That's so scary. This is what girls gotta deal with. Seriously, what the hell? Like, the girl literally had nothing against you. You were kicked out because you guys were drunk and acting stupid. But you come back to try to make this person's life miserable? Holy shit, that's messed up. Sitting in my friend's backyard with 2 kids, my husband and another friend, enjoying pizza that my host made. It was a beautiful clear day with no real wind. We're having a great time, just out of the pool and hungry for pizza, when I suddenly felt on edge. I looked straight at the kids, about 8 or 10 or so years old, and just said, "Get in the house." We all scrambled, and a second later we heard creaking, and maybe 5 seconds after it started, this big branch fell off of the pine tree onto the table where we were sitting. Thankfully no one was hurt, besides having to pick pine needles out of our pizza. I can only assume that I subconsciously heard the branch starting to give. Wow. I think so as well. Like, you hear something and you just start freaking out, but you don't hear it. Like, your body hears it, but you don't hear it. When we were in our teens, my sister and I were walking our dog in our local forest area very close to our childhood home. We were about to leave and had clipped our dog back up when a lady appeared out of nowhere and started chatting to us. She was odd. She told us her dog would love some socialization with our dog, and could we go back with her for 5 minutes. What I hadn't clocked, my sister had, and was that her dog was nowhere to be seen. The lady was almost rounding us up to head back towards the forest when little did I know my sister had spotted a van out of the corner of her eye. I was still oblivious at this point. Suddenly my sister screams, "Dad!" And to our luck, my dad had finished work and was now out on a run. He starts waving and running towards us, and as we turn back around, the lady had vanished. My sister looks back over at the van and sees the lady closing the passenger door and it speeding off. Dog still nowhere to be seen. I believe we were minutes away from abduction. It was divine intervention that my dad happened to be at the right place at the right time. Whew, guardian angel were on their side. How dare a lady do this? You know? I always feel so betrayed when it's a woman doing shit like that. Thank gosh the sister was smart though. Not this person. The person was like, "Yeah, you have a dog? Let's go." Many years ago, I went with my then girlfriend to one of a few of my friends' houses. He was married to a guy I'd never met before. I'll call them Jack and Jill so I can tell the story a little easier. We played cards with them for a couple hours and it was a good time besides an odd feeling I had the whole time I was there. Something just didn't sit right with me being there with them in their home. The best I can explain it is that I was having an anxiety, nervous-like feeling, but having no reason to feel that way. After leaving, I told my girlfriend the feeling I had and that I didn't think we should go back there again because something wasn't right. Fast forward several months to a year or so later, I forget the exact timeline. Jack murders Jill in that same home, Mag dumping her with his semi-automatic pistol before killing himself, with one of the last rounds, no motive. Really horrible stuff that sent shockwaves through the community, and it's the only time I've ever had that feeling. You had the feeling that Jack was a murderer, so just no motive? Like Jack just wanted to leave the world and he decided he's gonna take Jill with him because no one else can have her kind of thing? That's crazy. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!